Good evening everyone and welcome to the fourth round of Division 2 in Season 16. We are here at the Lusail, something like that, international circuit for the Qatar Grand Prix. Yeah, like I said, fourth round of the season. My name is Felix1. I'll be taking you through tonight's action. I'm alone for today's commentary. Jonathan is racing, so he's left me alone in the commentary booth to go out there himself and probably embarrass himself. We'll see. Yeah, we've got a 16-car grid for tonight's race, and I'm guessing it'll be completely dry. I mean, after all, we are in Qatar. You wouldn't expect a whole lot of rain, really. But we will see. I mean, I can check the chat. If there is rain, I'm fairly certain it will be the main talking point. I mean, Edwin has had thunderstorm rain in the race, but I do imagine that's sarcasm. It'll be a very dry race still, because he's the only one who said anything. If there actually was rain, I'd have about 10 people in the chat going, what the fuck? Alright, my controller is almost empty. Just got no notification, literally 5 seconds into qualifying, that's perfect. There we go. So, the first driver who's come out the pit lane is Sinus Williams. We can watch him going around the track, going on to the first lap of the session. I'm gonna say I would expect pole position to be somewhere in the 120s, maybe a low 121. I'm not too sure actually. Yeah, what these guys are gonna, because of course we race Division 1, and a person with a functioning brain would be able to remember lap times from there, but I don't. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I think I was doing like mid 120s in practice, but I don't know what I did in the actual session, and I don't know what everyone else did in the actual session, so we'll have to just wait and see. So, Pig's coming out the final corner, starting his first lap. Uses some overtake down towards the start-finish lane actually, so he starts the lap with about 60-something% ERS, which seems weird. And he actually uses overtake all the way down the straight until he starts braking, so... In my experience, not my experience, I know for a fact that is not optimal. You definitely want to be going back to hot lap in the end of the straight. Once you reach about 7th gear, that's really where the overtake ERS, like you still burn just as much as you do in the lower gears, but you gain way less lap time. So it actually makes more sense to go back to hot lap nearing the end of the straight once you've reached about 280 kph, really, that's the highest you want to go with overtake enabled. And after that, just at hot lap, yeah, do the job. Then you have a bit more ERS left for the slower parts of the track where your acceleration actually matters a lot more. Because the ERS, it does of course change the top speed a little bit as well, but it mainly helps with acceleration. Right, and now that we have spent half of this lap, well, almost half the lap actually, just kind of critiquing Pix's ERS usage at the start of the lap, we are already coming into the final corner. We'll see the first lap of the session. The good news is it's a valid lap, and yep, it's a valid lap from Pix. And it's gonna be a 22.811. Why did it take so long to load? Either way, that's of course the fastest lap of the session so far. Viral behind him with an invalidation. Then we have an Aston Martin. That will be Jonathan starting it up. He is replacing Dylan at Aston Martin. The two of course being teammates in Division 1, the Alpine. And today Jonathan is taking his place at Aston Martin. Always coming up the line, a 22.8 from Pix to beat, and he puts in a 22.0, so 8 tenths clear of Pix. He is at the line. And Red Bull coming over the line behind, that's Desi starting that, and I see a Mercedes, that would be Aussie, who goes top with a 21.849. And then another Red Bull, that's Kugel's starting up, yep, and then we have what Gabri coming over the line. And he puts in a 21.532, 3 tenths faster than Aussie. Provisional pole position. Our current championship leader. His race finishes so far, well, not a whole lot of variety. Read P3, P2, P2 and P2. So far, Edwin always up there, not quite being able to take the win. Was very close to doing so in Japan. He had led pretty much the whole race until it was a late safety car. He went for a great strategy call. There was rain coming late on, and he started on the hards, went until the rain. Everybody else on the mediums had to pit beforehand. 21.885 for Edwin, third fastest. And yeah, Edwin was then well clear left the field with that pit stop that he saved over everyone else. But then there was a safety car, which brought people back in, and PC really was able to pass him. Desi now coming past one of the Williams there, and that was not ideal, I would say. I think that would have been Sean. Yeah, Pix is in the pit lane, so could go down to the steward's room. I don't think Desi actually lost any time from Sean there, but certainly Sean went out the way very late, and that was a dangerous situation to be in. At 22.760 for Desi as he comes over the line. His teammate Kuko also into the final corner right now. And Dia is enabled up to the line. It's going to be a 21.677. About 1.5 tenths off Gabriel. We've got an Italian 1-2 at the minute. Sean Moore just starting his lap. Coming past Desi, of course. Yeah, he should just block Desi. Desi did not return the favor. Lap temp beat for Sean, a 21.5. Of course, he's going to be aiming near those top spots. Sean, one of the faster drivers we have in Division 2. Not the fastest outright, but he's always up there, I would say. He's very consistent across tracks. I never really see Sean, like, being way off the pace. And even, usually he's quite a bit faster in the race as well. He does quite a good job of moving up throughout the field. Modifying not really his main strength. Jonathan also, I'm not sure when he popped that lap in, but the 21.950, Jesus Christ, I can't talk anymore. And he's gone 5th fastest with that. So yeah, of course, usually he doesn't race in Division 2, he's commentating if he is available. But he decided he would like to drive Qatar as well. And I can see why, he's done quite well with that first lap. And there we have Sean, 3rd fastest with a 21.723. Both V-carbs on laps as well. PC has just started one, and Sully is coming through sector 2 as well. Team, I would say, especially Sully, not the start of the season they would have hoped. It's been a bit disappointing actually. I didn't expect them to really be a dominant force that maybe Ferrari with Gabriel and Edwin could compete with in terms of the construction, but they are actually quite a way behind. They are in 2nd place still, but I thought it would be their season really. So far, PC really has done quite well, of course, with the race win in Japan. But Sully has not even been on the podium so far this season. He's going to want to change that. And he goes 5th fastest, a 21.827. We'll go on board with PC Woody for the rest of his lap. A 57.6 middle sector. Fully flat through most of the last sector as well. Bit of a lift through here, you can take it flat. But that's why you don't sometimes. PC Woody, despite the little lift, just a little bit of understeer. Goes, yeah, a couple of millimeters over the white line, and the lap is immediately invalidated. The game is very harsh on this, of course. And that's the end of his lap. He's gonna have to go again on fresh tires in a couple of minutes. We've got Marcelio currently on a 23.57 tenths of Pix in 11th. Let's see, coming up to the end of the 2, he's up by 2.5 tenths, an improvement from Marcelio. But not enough to really move up in terms of the position that he's currently in. Actually has to brake for this corner. I think he's run out of fuel. Yep, okay. So that lap has gone down the drain. And now we actually have not a single car on a hot lap. I think we have got Marcelio. Yep, he's coming off that lap without fuel. I see Ossi. Yep, coming up to the line. There we go. Currently 6th fastest at 21.849. I think he was the first driver in the session to go into the 121s. He's currently 3 tenths off Garby at the front of the field. And we'll see if he can find that time somewhere. Always, I think. Also, I'm not sure when Always jumped into the the 121s, but he's now in 4th place, 21.786. Could have sworn he wasn't there like 5 seconds ago. Maybe I'll check stream. I swear that was not there. No, it's been there for a while. I'm just blind. I completely missed always putting that lap in, I'm very sorry. But yeah, not a name we usually see so near the top. So he's done quite well so far in this pole position. Aussie hasn't validated this run. We'll go on board with Edwin, who's got the purple sector 1 apparently. Let's see if we can get the Delta time, but the game is being shit. Thank you, Codemasters. We'll have to wait to the end of sector 2 then to see how Edwin is actually doing. This looks a bit of a tricky situation. Might be getting a bit of a slipstream from his teammate there, but that didn't really work out. Edwin has gained 2 tenths now after the middle sector. And that will put him, yeah, close to Kuko. Might be about to see a Ferrari 1-2 if Edwin can bring this over the line nicely. 21.532 to beat from Gabri if he wants to take pole position, which of course is not out of the question. It's only a 3-tenth gap, like I said, and for Edwin that's going to be a 21.590. Second place, it's not quite enough to beat Gabri, but he's gotten pretty close. Jonathan up by a 10th in the first sector as well. We've got Viral starting another lap. We've got Pix and Guru both coming to enough laps. Pix up by 2 and a bit tenths, Guru with a 58.0 middle sector as well there. Now we have Bazooka also on a lap. Where is he coming through? Just turn 1, okay. So we'll, yeah, the first one across the line on the current runs is Pix. So we'll watch him finish his lap and then go backwards to Guga River. Pix improves to 9th place with a 22.475 and Guga River 22.130 steals 9th place away from him immediately. And then Jonathan improving into P5 at 21.740. See Williams up to 9, that will then be Sean who's starting a lap, yep. Then a Red Bull of Desi, currently on a 22.760. He's up by 4 tenths here. That could be him breaking into the top 10 if he brings it over the line. And indeed, 10th position for Desi, 22.152. He's cleared picks for P10. Both Ferraris coming up to the lines. Edwin just finished the laps and we'll go on board with Gabri. 21.532. Can he improve on that a little bit more? Yes, he can. Not just a little bit. 21.091. And Gabri goes 5 tenths clear of the field at the top of the timing sheets. Very impressive lap by the Italian. Now we have Desi and Bazooka coming up to the line. Desi, I don't think he improved. Bazooka over the line, of course, hasn't put a lap in, so this will be an improvement. 22.237. 11th place for Bazooka. The next car across the line, is that a Williams or an Alpine? What is that? That's Pix, who's invalidating his run. Then we have Kuko. Oh. Jonathan has run out of fuel. He's gonna have to crawl back to the pit lane. Kuko has invalidated. Then we have the Haas of Kuko who's also run out of fuel. The Williams of Sean back to the pit lane. The Aston of Jonathan who's out of fuel. Is anyone on a lap on this godforsaken track, please? Anyone? Marcelio, yes, thank you. 5 tenths gain for Marcelio in the middle sector. Currently in 14th on a 23.569. But he needs about a 9/10 improvement to yeah, come out of last place, or 14th place I should say. He's got PC Willie and Phantom behind him still, who've not put in any lap times. PC Willie actually has not come out the pit lane since he yeah, went from that banker lap, which he invalidated. 22.876, a almost 7/10 improvement from Marcelio, but he still stays in 14th place with that. I think Gabri and Bazooka are on their way back to the pits probably. Yes, they are. But the first few guys coming out the pit lane are ready for their final runs. That's DC Viral and yeah, Marcelio, who just finished the lap. There we go. Or is he doing another one? He's still on hot lap ERS actually. So is he just gonna keep driving? Or just not bother to turn the ERS off? Okay, he's down quite a bit, so I think he should just not bother to turn the ERS off for the in-lap. Actually, yeah, why would you? There's no benefit in turning it off. Oh, Viral on the outlap already. Fully sideways. The rear tire should be warm now, hopefully. And he will have about 3 minutes left here. So he should be able to actually do 2 runs in a row, which is of course yeah, quite a nice thing to have as an option. If you mess up the first lap, you can just turn the EIS off and try again after. Of course, on a track like Qatar with such high tire wear, you will not exactly have the greatest of tires on that second lap, but it's better than nothing for sure. There we go, Viral coming into the final corner. A 22.622 is previous best, which is only 13 fastest. And of course we know him to be... I wouldn't say he's one of the top drivers, but for sure he is one of the guys who is up there and fighting for the top 5 positions pretty often. So he is gonna hope to improve on that. He should be able to improve on that. Usually very close to his teammate Ossie, who's currently in 8th. So I think that sort of area should be the aim for him at the very least. That's an 8/10 improvement. So maybe Qatar should not distract, we'll see. We've got a whole lap ahead of us. And he is up by just under 10th in the first sector. And I must admit, it didn't look like the greatest of first sectors, in my opinion. So maybe he is just really struggling around here. Bit sideways once more. I'd say he was a bit late in the brakes, couldn't really get the car yeah, hugging the apex as nicely as he would want to. Once more, a bit far away from the apex there, and another tank slap on the exit. The lap looking a bit rough here, quite a few mistakes from Viral. Yeah, and he's indeed down by 82 thousandths. He might not improve on that 22.6. He's still gonna finish the lap though, it seems, not really making any sort of signs of abandoning it here. So this will be his last chance. I don't think he'll have enough tires and fuel to do a slow lap and then another hot lap. And he invalidates coming up the final corner as well. Doesn't even matter, let's see. It would have mattered, he would have improved to 12th. He would have beat Pix with that 22.350. But for Viral, that is the end of qualifying. He's got an invalidation as well. And yeah, I highly doubt he'll have enough fuel. I can't... 2.2, he does have enough fuel actually to go for one more, but he retires from the session out on track instead. Sean now, starting his final round of the session. 21.723 his previous best. That's 7 tenths away from Gabi's pole position lap of 21.091. That's gonna be very tough for anyone in this lobby to beat. Needs a massive improvement, yeah, from, like I said, everyone, if they wanna even get in the vicinity of that lap time. But we'll see, maybe Sean Moore's got something in his locker here. 1.5 tenths roughly gained in the first sector. That already puts him pretty close to Edwin and P2, of course. Edwin, Guko, Jonathan, always Sully, everyone. Everyone is back on the track, apart from Marcelio and Raul, of course, who already did his lap earlier. Even Vandenfox is doing another lap right at the end. He's gotten ready in time to get 1 lap in here in qualifying. Sean up by 2 tenths and a bit, looking at a low 0.5 if he matches his final sector from earlier, which would put him P2, but still miles off Gabri. Gabri did not make the line for another run. He's done here, but I highly doubt that I will backfire on him. Here we go, Sean over the line, 21.358, a good final sector by him. To be fair, Edwin has invalidated, but it's still not enough. Ossie has also just finished this lap and did not improve. I see Owise and Sully coming up to the line. Owise improving to P4 with a 0.622. Sully up by 3 tenths in the middle sector. He goes over the line with a 0.456 and goes 3rd fastest. Like I said, Edwin invalidated. And Guga River has come up behind the AI of Gabri and has been blocked by Gabri's AI. Yeah, Gabri was on the outlap still as the clock went to 0-0, and then the AI takes control, and the AI of course doesn't get out of people's way, and it's ruined the qualifying. Vandenfox 22.293. We've got PC Bully on another lap. Maybe he can do something about that 21.0 from Gabri. Jonathan and PC Bully, the only ones still going. Jonathan up ahead of him, coming up to the line. He does not improve. PC Bully, he goes with a 21.449. I think that was P3. Yeah, testing the steering wheel. And there we have it, confirmation as well on the bottom left. P3 for PC Bully there with his one only lap of the session. Well, he did do one earlier, of course, but it wasn't an invalidated one. And there we have it. It's Gabri on pole position with a 2.5 gap to Sean in second place, followed by the two V-caps, PC and Sully, very close together. 449 and 456, only 7,000 separating them. Then Kuko in fifth, Edwin starting in 6th place, Always in 7th, Jonathan in 8th, Bazooka in 9th, Ossi rounding out top 10, Guga after getting blocked by Gabi's AI only in 11th, Desi in 12th, then Pix, Phantom with the one and only lap in 14th, Viral in 15th, Marcelio rounding out the grid in P16, 1.7 seconds only from P1 to P16. I think for the gaps in Houston Division 2, that's a very, very close grid that we have today, so it could be a fun race there as well. And now we're going to be loading onto the grid for the race start. Drivers can set their strategy, make some adjustments to the setup that they can do in a Park for May, of course. A couple of tire pressure changes, front wing changes, maybe the off-throttle differential. Set their fuel load, which will be very much crucial for Qatar. You need quite a bit of fuel for a track like this. So many high-speed corners, you have full throttle for so long, especially on this game. On F1 24 compared to previous F1 games, so you are going to need quite a bit of extra fuel in the car to get over the line. I remember when we had our first, or when I had my first race at Qatar, a couple of guys, including the race leader, ran out of fuel on the last lap and lost like many places. So it can be, it can definitely cost you a race if you another way of how much fuel you need for this track. It was even worse in F1 23. I think on F1 24 they changed the calculation for Qatar a little bit to like indicate you actually need more fuel for one lap of the track. But still, you need quite a few extra laps. But there we have it. The 5 red lights, we are ready for the race start. Gabi on the right hand side and Sean on the left hand side. They will be side by side off the line. There we go, it's lights out and away we go. Gabi getting away decently, looked like he's covering the middle of the track, the inside of the track now already. But he is clear in turn 1 and Gabi holds on to the lead with Sean Mull behind him. Then PC and Sully side by side with Kuku and Edwin side by side in the background as well. But it looks like we have all gotten our cleanly through turn 1. There's a 2x2 situation forming there with Kuko, PC Willy, Edwin, Jonathan, I think, all locked in a battle. Edwin and PC Willy still set as a PC Willy starting on the hards, and he is being swarmed by the guys in the mediums. Of course, they'll have way more traction coming off the line, coming into the race here. PC Willy doing his best to hold it on Edwin, but Jonathan looking for a gap as well. I think Edwin, yep, he's gotten past up the inside there. Jonathan might try and follow through if he can find a nice gap. There he is, side by side with PC now. Is there enough space through there? I think they've made a bit of contact, because Jonathan was way off track. The camera view for that was not great, I must admit. But, in the end, PC has held on against Jonathan for at least a little while longer. At the front though, we've got Gabi still, followed by Sean and then Sully. The top 3 remain, well, not the same, since PC started in 3rd, but remain unchanged after the start. Yeah, it's PC, Ossi and Phantom on the hards, the rest of the field starting on the mediums. We're going to be seeing medium hard strategies and our hard mediums all around. There will be no softs on this race unless we have a safety car with like 3 laps to go. Sean though with a nice run on Gabi, he's going to try and take the lead into turn 1 here around the outside. Gabi covering the inside, Sean does not have the traction advantage he needs, but he tries a switchback on the Italian. But once more gets stuck behind him. Maybe he has to wait until the end of this lap when he'll have the DRS on him. And then he can try and make a move for the lead of the Grand Prix. But very much behaved so far. Very nice to see. And the entire field still within one train here. PC really is close to dropping out of the DRS to Edwin. Of course, on those hard tires. Oh, Edwin, just as I say that, goes into the back of Kuko, and PC really comes a whole lot closer. And once more, actually, he is still 8.5 tenths behind. If Edwin puts a bit of the old-tech mode on, he might actually drop PC out of the Sean is past Gabi in the middle sector. I did not expect that whatsoever, and now Sully is trying to go around the outside as well to follow through for P2 in this Grand Prix. What is these camera angles? Why does it take so long to switch over? Because I've got to be working with almost a lot more. It seems like the camera shots for Qatar are a bit scuffed. Gabi holds on around the outside against Sully though, a really nice defense. And now, actually, Sean could be in a bit of trouble because he will not have the ES on the main straight when he's got so many cars so close behind. Gabi, Sully, Kuko, Edwin. Look at how close they all are together. And that was Jonathan going way wide, coming into the second to last corner as he's chasing after PC Willy. And here we go, onto the main straight. Sean has gotten a bit of a gap to Gabi. But Still, he is under very much big threat of being passed. There comes Gabri. And is Sully gonna follow through? He's gonna try it up the inside. Late on the brakes, but I think Sean has held on the outside. Bit of contact made. And Sully has correct. Tuku takes the chance to try and go around the outside of Sully now. But, yeah, he gets pushed off track as well there. Sully, very aggressive in his defense to try and hold on to P3. And he does pull it off. What an opening phase of this Grand Prix it is. These guys are giving it everything out there. And so far, absolutely nothing has been decided. Everyone is still so close together here. It looks almost a bit like an esports race, just kind of slower lap times obviously, but everyone in one DRS train. It's absolutely lovely to see right now. I must admit, usually I hate these kind of DRS trains, DRS races, both to watch and race. But seeing it in Division 2 is a bit, different experience. It's not something that we're used to in this division. Usually the field spread is a bit larger. But today it seems like we have got everyone pretty much not on the same pace, but on close enough pace that we've got something like this forming. Sully is struggling to hold on to the top 2 though. Eventually we are going to see some breaks in the DRS train for sure. And I think Sully was probably within a second activation point. But next lap around he could be in trouble. Sean with the run on Gabri into turn 1. Is he going to go for the move or is he going to stick behind? He goes up the inside and Sean takes lead. Don't think Gabri will defend at that. They might be trying to work together a bit now to break away from Sully. Of course that's yeah, only good for them both. If they break away from the rest of the field, they can decide the race from between themselves. Don't need to worry about everyone else behind. In the midfield, Osiondo's heart has dropped quite some way down, I think, at this point. Only 2 places. I thought he started higher out than that. Okay, but nonetheless, the guys in the hearts, of course, are going to be playing the long game. Thunderfox, for example, he of course started near the bottom of the field as well, and we usually see him make his way out throughout the race, as he always starts quite far down at the bottom, and then sort of just ends up in the top 5 at some point. So yeah, they're going to be yeah, coming into the second stint of the race when they switch from the hards onto the mediums, and that's where they'll start making their moves. We've got Bazooka, I think, who made a bit of a mistake. He is still in the running though, but he's lost 3 places to Rival, Aussie and Desi. Not sure if he got involved in contact with another car, if he just had a bit of a moment. Either way though, it's no damage on his car, just lost a couple of places. The race goes on. Just a small setback for the Alpine driver. Back onto the main straight. And Gabri is going to fly past Sean for the lead of the Grand Prix once more. The DRS, yeah, simply a bit too much to try and hold on against. But this little moment for Bazooka actually created the gap for the train here. 2 seconds from Aussie to Guga in 9th place. I think Bazooka was in that gap. And then when he had a moment, Aussie was too far away from Guga to stay in the DRS train. And now we've got essentially 2 races, the top 9 and then the bottom 7. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yes. Got the math correctly. But of course they're gonna be trying to get back into the train, because otherwise they're gonna be, yeah, all of these guys from P10 downwards do not want to be fighting over 1 point. They're gonna put the foot down and try and get back into the DRS range to Google River, get back into the battle. Destiny's actually struggling to hold on to the Mercedes guys in 10 and 11, rather than Aussie. Maybe pulling away a bit from the rest of the chasing train. It's crazy to say chasing train and it's the one in P10. Normally it's like talking about P4 and 5 or something like that. Sean is a bit further away from Gabri this lap around. I think Gabri will actually be able to hold on to a lead for at least a little bit. So that might be the first lap in this Grand Prix since DRS has been able without a lead change. If Sean doesn't burn all his ERS here. Gabri covering the middle of the track. Back to the outside. Sean is nowhere near close enough for an overtake. Jonathan being swarmed a bit from behind. That's Always and Google River going side by side to the first corner. And now side by side into turn 2 as well. Always trying to hold on around the outside. But the Haas driver makes his way through up into P8. Jonathan needs to watch out that he doesn't lose DRS to PC Wooly. He is currently 1.1 seconds away. He needs to be within a second. It will be absolutely crucial for his race. The DRS on F124, very powerful. And once you lose the contact, or once you lose out on that DRS detection point, being outside 1 second, you will lose about half a second, 6/10 down every single straight. And yeah, that will cost you quite dearly. All of these guys ahead are going to be gaining time on you every single straight. And it looks like the top 6 are breaking away from the rest of the field. Gabri, Sean, Sully, Cuckoo, Edwin and Piscioli. First for Piscioli, that's absolutely perfect, and it seems like the mediums are putting on a bit of wear already. Because Piscioli on those hards is very close to the back of Edwin. Meanwhile at the front, Gabri, he's now being pressured by Sean, Sully, Cuckoo. They're all very close behind him there, coming out in the main straight. There goes Sean. And I think Sully's going to follow through, and Cuckoo as well maybe. Gabri could lose 3 places in one straight. He's going to be side by side with Cuckoo there, coming through the first corner. Oh no, that was... Okay, no, Cuckoo was actually way behind, never mind. But Gabri still has lost 2 places down the main straight. He's been overtaken by both Sean and Sully. 1 lap earlier, he actually had Sean pretty much under control. And this time around, he's been passed by 2 drivers at once. So not a great lap from Gabri there, and it's cost immediately. That's the danger of being the driver leading the train. When you don't have DRS, you can very quickly lose multiple places in one straight. I think he was actually lucky there to only lose 2, because coming out in the straight, I think there was about 1.5 tenths between each car. He could have dropped behind Cuckoo and maybe even Edwin and Piscioli if those guys had really drained their batteries. But P3 is not too bad, because all that needs to happen for him to be back towards the front of this train is that Sean Mull does the same thing he did. And yeah, allows himself to be overtaken by 2 cars at once, which is very easy to do, especially on a track like this where the DRS rate is so long. And it's also the only overtaking opportunity, so it really is where everyone is saving their ERS for. Oh, Sully with a wobble coming up the final corner, and Gabri is immediately going to take advantage. Pulls over to the right hand side, and now side by side, down the main straight, in the slipstream of Sean. Gabri is going to reclaim the lead of the race. Sully can't follow through against the Williams. In the background, Piscioli goes up the inside of Edwin, tries to move up to 5th place. They're side by side, coming out of turn 1 into turn 2. Edwin on the inside gets the position. Piscioli does not have the traction he needs to go clean around the outside and sticks behind in 6th place for now. Marcelio coming into the pit lane at the end of lap 7. Didn't see a lane change, just an undercut for the Aston Martin driver. Viral there, dropping a couple of places as he moves down to 14th. Piscioli once more looking for a move on Edwin, this time through the middle selector, I think the hairpin. That's one of the only really possible overtaking opportunities. It's still not a great one, since the run down into it is so short from the corner before. But it's possible to make a move there, especially if you have a big tyre advantage. But I don't think it's quite big enough for Piscioli yet. The hards, I would say certainly faster than the mediums by now. But still not a massive gap. Gabri going non-ERS throughout the entire last sector here. And Sean's will be very frustrated with that, as he's just stuck behind him and losing time. And look at that once more. So many cars so close behind. That's Sean, Sully, Cuckoo really all in position to try and pass Gabri coming out in the straight. Here we go. Gabri's got loads of ERS though from going non-ERS for so long. But still, it's not now. Oh, Gabri covering all the way to the middle of the track there. Then Sean finally pulls that on the inside. And Sean and Gabri side by side in the first corner. Sean has been traction on the inside line and moves back up to 1st place. Sean and Gabri swapping places so often here. But in all of this, Piscioli, he's just kind of keeping quiet, keeping calm. Like I said, he's playing the long game. Once he pits in the mediums, he will have the pace advantage over all of these guys. And he could genuinely be in the best position to win this race, despite running down in 5th place right now. Of course, the issue for him is that the other 5 drivers in this train will have an undercut on him, and they will still have DRS on each other, so they will be able to gain time on him on the straights while he's driving all on his own. At first on the old hards, when they are undercutting, and then even when he comes out the pit lane, he will have been probably undercut by the likes of Cougar River, Owise and Jonathan, maybe even the train after that with Desi, Bazooka, Vravel and Pix. So he'll have to work his way through those guys, and he will either be in traffic, with slower drivers slowing him down, or he will be on his own and won't have DRS on anyone, is losing time down the straights. So either way, for Piscioli, it's going to be a tough time to get back into the train, but if he can pull it off, I think he will be in a great position to win this race. In the meantime, time penalties for Guga River and Aussie both for multiple warning track limits. Sully's into the pits at the end of lap 9, I think it was for him. Quite an early pit stop, but he's gonna go into the hards. Of course, we saw Marcello pit 1 lap earlier. The hard will definitely last from here. It will just be quite a bit worn down by the end. And he's gonna go for the undercut on everybody else in this leading train. Of course, hoping to come out in the lead of the Grand Prix. And then sort of do what Gabi and Sean have been doing, just keep swapping between each other, hold on to those top 2 positions. And now Sully out the pit lane. Like I said, of course, obviously in free air, no one anywhere near him. So I have to see, when do these guys respond to Sully's undercut? Do they respond immediately? Do they stay out a little bit longer to have a tire advantage later on? Strategy decisions to be made now. We are in that phase of the race where it can be won or lost depending on the strategy you go for. Of course, Pisivoli, he's the only one who doesn't need to be concerned about Sully's undercut at all. If anything, this is very good for him, because Sully's tire will die at the end and give him even more chance to catch up back into the train after he gets undercut by everyone now. So, which of these guys are gonna come in? Sean is in, Gabri's staying out, Edwin is in, Guga River is in, Alwise is in, Jonathan in as well. Another question, where they're gonna come out in relation to Sully. Of course, all of these guys onto a set of hard compound tires. Sully just now coming into the final corner. The perfect scenario for him would be that he's actually a second clear of everybody else, and then maybe they start battling for P2, who knows? But here they come, out the pit lane on the right hand side. And here comes Sully. He's gonna come out between Edwin and Sean. He has not been able to jump Sean in the pit lane. He's within DRS range to him though. Or just outside of it, but Sean of course on cold tires. Sully should be able to catch him. Undercut not actually nearly as effective as I expected it to be. Sully, I thought he'd come out like well in the lead, but he hasn't. Not even close to it. He's well behind Sean. Bazooka now with a 3-second time penalty. The third driver in this race to pick one up after Ossie and Guga River. Our leader in this race now, Gary, followed by Kuku and then Pisivoli. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2 for Sean! Sean is in the moment! No. Pigs. sorry, no. Sean is not at the moment, he's still in the fight for the race win. Pigs had a moment and dropped back from that train in the field. Gary and Kuku are now in as well. That's the last of the lead train coming off the mediums and onto the hards, and I think Desi's in as well. That leaves only Pigs on the mediums, and he might come in this lap as well. And the 3 hard runners, Pisivoli, Ossie and Phantom, now leading. So where's Gnabi gonna come out? There we have Sean coming over the main split. We've got a yellow flag for Alwise, who spun in the final corner, I think. Yes! Alwise, and he's in the pit entry. Don't get disqualified here. Needs to get moving. But that's a massive time loss, and he's only just pit. He's gonna have to pit again for a new front wing. And Alwise in such a good position. Gets a penalty for speeding the pits as well. Pisivoli has got a time penalty. Alwise retires in the race now. So Pisivoli with a time penalty for track limits. Gabriel has come out in the lead of the Grand Prix. So despite being undercut for 2 laps from Sully and 1 lap by Sean, Edwin, Guga River, Jonathan, Gabriel has actually managed to hold on to the lead of this Grand Prix, and now he has 1 lap fresher tires and most drivers 2 laps fresher than Sully. This has gone very, very well for him. And with Pisivoli's 3-second time penalty, Gabriel is in a very good spot here. In the meantime, Phantom now in a position to move up to 2nd place, all on track. Use the DAS to get past Ossie. Not a whole lot the Mercedes driver can do in this one. And we've got a train from Gabi to Guga River. Jonathan has dropped a bit further back from this leading pack. Of course, once the top 3 pit, Gabi will be back into the lead, so he is still the effective race leader. Edwin with a send on Sully. Up the inside into turn 1, now to the outside for turn 2, but I don't think he has traction for that. Yep, Sully moves back through on the inside line and holds on to 7th place. We are just under halfway into the Grand Prix. And it's still very much open. Gabri is leading the train of the cars who already made a pit stop. PC really should be coming out, hopefully for him, somewhere between Jonathan and Guevara, so that he's in clean air. But he won't be in DRS range from these guys, I'm fairly certain. He'll have to work his way into that and then work his way past all of these guys and build a 3-second lead with that time penalty he's picked up. Not a good spot for him to be in whatsoever. But he will have a massive tyre advantage. The mediums against used hards, he should be significantly faster. I would still say though at this point that the ones without penalties and on hard compound tyres are in a better position than him. Mainly because of that time penalty. You've been seeing how hard it is this race to break away from people. Gabri was so much faster in qualifying than most. And now in the race, he's certainly not slow. I mean, he's been holding on to those top 2 places for a long time. Penalty for DC Rival there. But he's not like running away from them. We've got a very much, a big train there with Gabri at the top of it, but still in that train. He's not able to break the DRS, and that is what PC would have to do. And even with the tyre advantage that he will have, I can't see it happening, especially because by the time that he will have worked his way to the lead of this train, his tyres will not have the same advantage anymore. So a tough situation to be in. Of course, we still have plenty of laps to go for all of these guys to get time penalties as well. Qatar is a really tricky track on that front. The track limits, it's not quite as bad as something like Imola, for example, but certainly I would expect some more time penalties in this race. It's a track where you really have to flirt with those white lines to get the best lap times. And then when you misjudge that only a little bit, that can end up in you getting a warning. Do that 2 more times, time penalty, there you go. Jonathan with a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limit warnings. And we're onto the main straight. One more time. Sean leading the way from Gabri and then Kuko. They could both try and pass him. Gabri for sure. Kuko with a good run as well. In the background, Edwin looking for a move past Sully. Takes up all of the braking boards there as he turns a bit too aggressively. And he tries to move around the outside of Sully. Sully now actually in a position to go alongside Kuko. That's Sean. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't tell the cars apart from a wide shot. They look they're all blue. We need some color, for God's sake. This would never happen on like F1 2018 or something, when they were all like pink and yellow and shit like that, you know. Now everyone is just blue. Well, enough about the color ranting. I will do my best to still be able to tell the cars apart. I should be able to. It's not that difficult. I'm just kind of, I don't know, blind maybe. But we of course see the gap from Gabri to Ossi coming down. He's was about 15 seconds I think when Gabri came out of the pits. Now it's 11. Of course, to be expected. Gabri has a good tyre advantage. What the hell is going on? Oh, I have stick drift. Beautiful. So, okay, fixed itself. Nice. But yeah, that's what I want to see. The gap to the leader. 20.6 seconds now it is from Gabri to PC really. As Sully and Sean battle to turn 1. Sean trying to switch back. And he is slightly ahead coming to turn 2, but still around the outside, which is not quite going to be possible, and Sully holds on to the position. Desi moves past Rival, and Bazooka follows through into 12th, late in the brakes into turn 1. And gets ahead of Mercedes. Rival trying a switchback, but doesn't quite have the running needs into turn 2. But this train is just glued together from Gabri to Guevara. No one really making any sort of showing any sort of signs of slowing down, of dropping out. It's a very open battle for the podium spots, for the race win at the moment. Still 13 laps to go. And it does seem to be these guys, with PC Wooly still in the picture once he makes that pit stop of his, deciding the battle for the podium. Everybody else quite a bit further behind Jonathan, the closest chasing car, and he's 7 seconds back and dropping further and further away. Every single time they go into this main straight, they gain quite a good amount on him, with the DRS opening up for them. Kuko now with a move on Gabi for the lead of the Grand Prix, or the effective lead. P4 out on track at the moment. Edwin with a move on Sean, and he moves up to 7th. Sean was doing so well in the first stint of this race, and now he's dropped down to 8th place, nearing the end of this train. Doesn't quite seem to have the same pace to keep swapping with Gabi back and forth. He has to actually, watch from afar, really, the battle for the race win now, with Gabi, Kuko and Sully right now leading this train. Could end up with a fully Italian podium if we bring it over the line like this. Of course, what could put this race upside down would be a safety car. Phantom, Aussie and PC Wooly would be overjoyed, I'm sure. But I don't want to make any sort of jinxes come to this curse or anything like that. And I'm sure if it does come out now, Kuko, Gabi, Sully, Edwin, Sean, Guga, they'll absolutely hate me for it. They are in such a good spot. PC Wooly now finally into the pit lane, lap 17. Left it pretty late there as well. But he's now going to change that tire. Phantom is in as well. Aussie still staying out one more lap in this Grand Prix. Here they come. Will now be the train from P2 to P7. No swapping within the train this time around, and PC Wooly is going to come out quite a bit behind it. Of course, they have had a 7-lap undercut on him. He's about 4 seconds back from Google River. Thunder Fox coming out the pit lane as well in 10th position, and he's going to be chasing Jonathan for P9. So, PC Wooly, 4 seconds to the next car. He needs to put his foot down and get towards these guys as quickly as possible. Try and break out of the DRS, build a 3-second lead. Very tough job for him now. I mean, at the very least, he should be able to beat River. They are equal on time penalties, I believe. They both have 3. Yeah, 3 seconds for everyone has a penalty, actually. No one with more than 3, which is good to see. But there's still 11 laps left to go in this Grand Prix. There could be more time penalties handed out, for sure, and I wouldn't be very surprised if there's not. Kuko and Gabi seem to have the strongest pace here. Sully is struggling to hold on with the second right now. And that's on similar EIS loads for all 3 of them. Aussie now in the pit lane. So that means Kuko's going to take the lead of the Grand Prix here. At least for a short time, because here comes Gabi. And there we have another lead change, with Gabi moving past Kuko for the lead. Down to turn 1, the Italian. Well, the Ferrari back into P1. Can't call him the Italian if he's passing an Italian. That doesn't really convey any information. Rival with his second penalty of the race, now up to 6 seconds, I believe. Yep. And Aussie comes out the pit lane just ahead of that 3-car train, Bazooka, Rival, Desi. And he's lost 2.5 seconds to Phantom in that 1 lap. That's crazy. PC Wooly has already gained a second on Google River. The gap coming down fairly quickly. And of course, once he's in DRS range, so another 2 seconds, which should only be 2 more laps, then it will become a whole lot easier. There won't be any advantage there anymore for these guys in the top 6. And he's gonna start, just moving past them as quickly as they can, slicing its way through, back towards the front of the race. But will he have enough laps to really salvage much with that time penalty hanging over his head? Once more, Sully is only barely within DRS range of the top 2. And this time, Kuko's got a whole lot more ERS than he does. On the main straight we go. Kuko is about to re-overtake Gabi for the lead of the Grand Prix. He is way too close not to. Second time penalty for Jonathan now, and it's only been a couple laps since his first one. So he adds further misery to his race. Currently running in 8th, will be 9th once Phantom catches up, probably 10th because I think Aussie will get him as well. Fast lap of the Grand Prix for Phantom on those mediums, making very good use of them. Of course, we see the dropping a bit further back now on that main straight with the DRS. And now with a second time penalty for him, he's up to 6 seconds. And that puts, yeah, the final nail in the coffin for him in terms of his chances of a race win, well, of a podium, and certainly a race win. I think he should be safe in terms of P7. The gap to P8 is quite big, with an 8-second gap to Jonathan. But anything more than P7, yeah, now a very tough job. Even the P6 against Cuckoo River, he would have to drive out a 3-second gap, which I can't see him doing. These guys up ahead are just too close together to really use his pace on those fresh mediums. And once more, Cuckoo and Gabri are absolutely glued together here. 2:10 separating them as they go into the straight, and Gabri is in a re-overtake Cuckoo for the lead of the race. An overtake as well from Desi on Viral for P12. Phantom now on the back of Jonathan. Here we have it, Gabri moving past Cuckoo for the lead of the race, everybody else staying put. Third time penalty for DC Viral, and there we have Phantom getting past Jonathan for P8. But I think that will be the best that Phantom can manage here as well. It's a 9-second gap to PC really up ahead. And only 8 laps to go. That seems a bit too far to go. So P8 could be the highest, yeah, that Phantom can reach today. Jonathan now needs to look behind at Aussie to try and hold on to that P9 position. Well, he's actually already lost it. He might need to look at Desi instead, since he needs to have 6 seconds of a gap to Desi at the line to hold on to P10. Jonathan could end up outside of the points here because of that. Those 6 seconds of time penalties picked up throughout the race. PC really now almost in DRS range to the leaders. So he seems to have recovered a bit. He is a whole lot closer to Cuckoo and Gabri this time around. And with similar ERS load as well. So a 3-way fight for the win is still on, and you can't count out the cars behind Edwin and Sean. I would say you can count out everyone from P6 and downwards though. Here comes Cuckoo, once more to the ERS from Gabri. Gonna be seeing a whole lot more of those still. Fast lap the race by Phantom Fox for a second lap in a row, I think. He is absolutely flying out there. I just don't think it'll matter. He's too far away from everybody else to really do anything. Desi with the DRS on Bazooka might be seeing a move down towards turn 1 here. There he comes, moving out the slipstream to the inside. Trying to brake later than the Alpine. Bazooka moving around the outside though. Desi with a tank slapper. Has to correct it. DC Rao now with a disconnect, running in 13th. I'll invite him back in. There we go. If he wants to finish the race. Wasn't running in the points anyway, he's not really gonna lose anything from this. But still, maybe if he wants to join back in, he can. I'm not sure if that was a disconnect or if he just rage quit. I couldn't really blame him at this point. His race has been going, yeah, awfully. And there we have it. PC really now in the train for for P1, from P1 to P7, Gabri to PC really, all back together. Why did I say Gabri? Cuckoo's leading, at least for the moment. Come on the main straight one more time, and I don't think Gabri is in position to overtake Cuckoo. PC when getting past Cuckoo. Jonathan now with 9 seconds of penalties, and he's almost certainly thrown away points with that. Gabri takes the lead from Cuckoo. But still, these guys are being very, very calm. I mean, I'm not seeing any sense, any desperate move. It's very strategic, tactical, intelligent racing from everyone involved. They are all just seemingly happy to bring this to the line safely. But that's for now. I am certain coming into the last 2 or 3 laps it's going to start kicking off. PC really making a move on Sean. Up into 5th there, coming from the middle sector. PC really is of course absolutely flying in comparison to these guys. It just won't really matter with those 6 seconds of penalties he's got. He will drop to 7th no matter what. Unless, like, he absolutely cooks, but he has to overtake 4 cars and drive 6 seconds away within, yeah, 6 laps. He's now on the back of Edwin, so he's gonna definitely become a factor in this fight for the race win. But not in the way you would have hoped, as he makes a mistake against Sean. But Sean picks up a 3-second time penalty in the process. And with that, he knocks himself out of the fight for the podium. And he is going to get overtaken by PC in the meantime. Up ahead, Kuko with a run on Garby once more up into P1. PC moves past Sean Moore for a second time. Can try again against Edwin. Yeah, like I said, PC and a 10-second penalty for Jonathan Spin in the pit lane, who retires in the race now. Well, that did not go his way whatsoever. Too many time penalties. Dropping out of the lead train as well. Not what he would have been hoping for. We've got Desi making a move from Bazooka for 10th. Ah, hello Jonathan.
Hello. I decided I'd join you because my race was done with the 9 seconds.
Yeah, that wasn't great for you, was it?
No. I think it was just once I lost the DRS, I was kind of on my own, and when I'm on my own I don't have enough concentration and I just kind of drift wide. Nah, I got a few city warnings.
Damn.
Yeah.
You might be finished. That's 2 Qatar races with 0 points.
Yeah. And I had the pace to be with that top train. Like, I just fucked it.
Then why are you here? Ah, okay, you fucked it, you said. Okay. Never mind. Well, thank you for joining me for the last couple of laps, right when I think it's about to kick off, because... Yes. I mean, I'm not sure how much you've really been able to see from the top guys, like if you know what's been going on, but essentially nothing.
Yeah, I kind of guessed that.
They are being so unbelievably calm. I'm impressed, really. It just feels more like I'm watching... I wouldn't even say PSGL, because they would be in a train like this, but they would not be calm whatsoever. They would be murdering each other left and right. But yeah, I do think once we get into the last, like, 2 laps, 3 laps, it's gonna start kicking off.
Hopefully. Hopefully it's more interesting than my race as well. That was literally just me driving.
I mean, that is what racing is, isn't it? You do a whole lot of driving and then... Oh, Guga's off!
Ooh.
Guga with a moment coming out of the... I have no idea what corner it is, but either way, he's gone off into the gravel. He's going to rejoin just ahead of Phantom Fox there. And that is going to give Phantom Fox the opportunity to move up into 7th. Of course, with Guga River's time penalty, he's already got a position in the result sheet. And it's a position as well for Sean and PC with the time penalties that they've secured. At least one more place for them in this race. And we go back up in the main straight. Kukro and Sully pretty close to Gabri. Gabri needs to make sure he doesn't get overtaken by both of them at once, otherwise he could be in trouble. PC really getting past Sully though, swap for the V-Car boys. And there comes Kukro against Gabri, and PC really with a massive run on Gabri. Gets him into turn 1, moves up to 2nd place. And now he's only got Kukro in his way. And then he'll be in clean air, and that could be what Kukro needs. If Kukro can let PC really go without being overtaken by Gabri, that could be his ticket to winning this race. Because he can just use the DRS from PC Wooly to defend from Gabri, and of course with the time penalties for PC Wooly, he will beat him anyway. Yellow flags from Marcelio, who has lost his entire front wing. Bazooka and Desi side by side in the first sector. Bazooka with a bit of a moment. Desi lets him pass once more, so he thinks that was his fault. Wants to play it fair and let Bazooka back through. Marcelio in the pit lane, he might try for a fastest lap attempt. To at least get something out of this race. Another penalty for DC Rare, I think he's now up to 9 seconds. 12 seconds.
Even I didn't do that.
But bad news for Kukro. Gabri and Sully as well are really close behind PC Uli. So they could follow through against him.
Wide there from Sean.
Oh, Kukro with a moment coming out the last corner. He saved it, but he's going to lose so many places in that. He's lost out to PC Uli, to Gabri, and probably to Sully as well. Yes, Kukro dropping from 1st to 4th with one little mistake. And that's what it's like driving in a train like this. And Edwin might sneak through as well, yes. Look at it up ahead. We're on board with Sean Wool right now. Edwin trying to move around the outside. Tries a switchback as well, but no. Cuckoo does hold on to 4th place. But he's dropped, like I said, from 1st to 4th in, yeah, just one moment. Just like that. And now Gary's in the situation that I described Cuckoo maybe being in. He's running in 2nd place behind PC on those fresher medium tires. Who's got really good pace, but it's not going to be enough to break the ES, I don't think. Just enough to easily hold Gary at bay, which for Gary is absolutely perfect. That's what he needs. He will have the DRS from PC to defend from Sully, but I'm sure PC is not going to like that. Considering
at the same time, yeah, like 2 Orbs in this top 3, he's going to surely help Sully in any way he can here. Not that there's too much he can do with the DRS being so strong.
He might just slap his ES on none here. And just recover from the last sector. Get Gabri, yeah, very close behind him. And then Sully's going to be close behind as well. Because, yeah, if he can force Gabri to overtake him, that can put Sully in a position that Gabri won't have DRS, and then Sully can get through as well.
Down here. That looks a bit...
Yeah, I think that's what, yeah.
As well.
Let's see. On the main straight we go. Sully burning some overtake, and Gabri is locked in behind PC. Look at that! Gabri goes to the outside, Sully goes to the inside. Reminiscent of Hacken and Schumacher back in Spa in 2000 it was, I think. And Sully has pulled it off. A beautiful move. But the issue for Sully now is,
get second.
On the next lap he won't have DRS. And here comes PC against Gabri. Trying to hold the Ferrari up as much as he can by making him battle. And it's working an absolute treat. PC tries to send it back around the outside.
Oh, Kuko hit by Sean.
Oh. Sean loses some places there. Kuko off track as well. Edwin takes advantage against Sean.
By Sean.
And Gary's now lost quite a bit of time against Sully. He has to burn some ES, get back close, and Sully can use this, yeah, to overcome the ES advantage that Gary had coming into the last lap. He's got a bit of a gap here. It could be just enough to hold on. It could be Sully's first race of the season. Gary is quite low on ES. He's closed the gap once more. But with the ES he has, surely Sully can hold on.
I don't know.
And this is exactly what I meant. Would start kicking off right in the end. PC would become a factor in the fight for the race when exactly I have so much win on it. It's crazy.
I think Gabri has this.
I don't think so. He's not. No, he's out of ES. He's below 10%. He's not gonna have to run.
Yes, he is.
In fact, here comes PC Wooly. Gabri to the inside of Sully. He does have him. But Sully trying to switch back. What a move that would be. They're side by side in turn 2. They bang wheel. Sully tries around the outside. Does he have the grip? Do hang it around the outside. They're still somewhat side by side. PC now actually moves ahead of Sully. And he's gonna send it up the inside of Gabri.
Oh.
Despite his time penalty, he's fully in the fight. Oh, but PC is off! And now Sully and Gabri once more in a clean battle against each other. Coming to the line. Can Sully find a way around the Ferrari? Coming into the last sector somewhere. Of course, there is a bit of a run after the last corner. That could be his chance.
It's not as long as it used to be though. They shortened it since the new game.
And the DRS activation is also much later. It's definitely a lot harder on this game than it would have been on 23 to pass on the last lap. But Sully, he's gonna try here with an Sully's on the outside. It's gonna be side by side into the last sector. What is this? Some absolutely beautiful racing. That's what it is. Sully and Gabri side by side. Sully has gotten past.
Kuko.
Oh, and Kuko goes for the send. Gets turned around. Edwin moves on to the podium.
Now Sully has a huge gap.
And Sully is indeed going to claim his first race of the season. It's been a very tough start to the season for him. But he's done enough. He's coming to the line. What a battle that was. Sully wins the Qatar Grand Prix, followed by Gabri, then Edwin with another podium in 3rd place. Finally not 2nd for once. Kuko in 4th. Then Sean in 5th with a crash over the line as well. Phantom picks up P6. PC drops to 7th for the last lap against Phantom with the time penalties he had. Guga bringing home P8 after the mistake he made. Then we have Aussie in 9th, Bazooka coming down to the line. It'll be Desi in 10th though with Bazooka's time penalty. And then Bazooka in 11th picks. Viral still trying for the fastest lap. Did anyone actually beat it in the end?
I don't believe so.
Phantom still holds over the 23.7. We'll see if Pix or Viral can pull it off this lap though. 23.755 to beat. Quick little quality session right at the end still. But the top 10, the points paying positions are decided, and for Pix that's going to be a 23.458. It is enough points for Pixel. Brian is not going to improve on his previous best. And that means the points for the fastest lap goes to Pix and Williams. Oh, what a final few laps that was. And once more, final Foxy driver of the day. Who would have thought? As per usual.
Give me freedom, give me fire, give Phantom Driver the day, or he will retire.
Well, now we have our podium. Sully, Garby and Edwin. I think the Italian fans could not be any happier with that. 2 Ferraris, 2 Italian drivers. Division 2 really is a dream for the Italians. I mean, you've got 3 drivers consistently up there. Ferrari is such a strong team in here as well. But yeah, full race results once more.
A Italian team, aren't they?
Yeah, they're based in Italy. Of course, they aren't like. I don't know if they are like as Italian as Ferrari. Definitely not as Ferrari, but like if they even have much of an Italian like identity still. But they are based in Italy at least. Yeah. That's been the 4th race in the season in Division 2, our 4th different race winner. 25 points coming Sonny's way there, and he finally gets properly going with the season. A P9, a P8, a P4, and now a P1. Edwin though with another podium finish. So far P2, 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 and now P3. Up to 70 points already. He's doing very well there. Of managing his championship lead. And we're already 1/3 through the season. Edwin is in a really, really good spot for this championship fight. Our next race, of course, 7 days from now as always, Wednesday, 7:30 PM UK, that will never change, most likely. The Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So, a track that I don't think we've done yet this game.
What is it?
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi,
I'm not sure if we did it. But yeah, should be a fun race as well. Of course, Division 1 as well. This Saturday at Abu Dhabi. And the Esports Division on Sunday will be the USA Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas. I hope you're going to be tuning in for those races. Yeah, hope you enjoyed today's stream. Thank you once more, Jonathan, for joining me at the end there.
No problem.
And yeah, have a good evening, everyone. Goodbye.